Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to another episode of...
I know, huh?
Woo!
So we have a very special guest today, and so I'm going to hit you with that line. What's your name? What's your sign?
Miles Chavez of the Rhythms, and I'm an evil Gemini.
Allah, not an evil Gemini.
Well, that's what they say every time someone
Well, I
asks
know.
me.
It's funny because she was asking me about my chart, and I was like, I know there's Gemini in there somewhere.
Do you know your big three? Do you
Yeah, I
dabble in
do.
astrology?
Yeah, my
Oh,
mom told me.
cool. Okay.
That's cute.
What did she say?
Your mom's all, this is what they are. You don't need to tell any girl your birth time.
Yeah, every time, yeah. Girls, how do you know that? Who told you? My mom. Like,
They're all...
I think I'm a, what'd she say, a Leo rising and an Aquarius moon?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
I'm not really sure what that means. I just know that Gemini is bad for some reason because
Well, because they're...
that
my whole
bad.
life, everyone...
Well,
so
it's
what's
like
your
a
sign?
two-face thing.
Yeah.
That's what they
Isn't
say.
that what it is?
You know
Yeah,
what? They say it's
allegedly.
two-faced, but my mom's
But
like
do you
super
know what?
into it.
I can totally see you as a Gemini because they're very outgoing.
My mom always told me, because I've been a busybody my whole life. I'm
Oh,
always
yeah?
busy. And my mom always told me that it's not two-faced. It is like a two-faced thing, I guess, or like two-personality. But I guess she always told me because we do enough for two people. Like, we're so busy.
Oh, I like
Guys,
that.
Yeah.
I messed up.
Did you?
We're not
It's
recording?
It's been on him this whole time.
Oh,
all right.
that's good. No, that's okay.
I look beautiful, yeah. You guys got the glam shots.
Taking
Oh,
over the show today.
I was looking at the
gonna be like,
prompter and I was
"Who's
like,
this?"
I don't think that's right.
You're welcome. You guys, you're welcome.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
Well,
Well, there you go. That's a different open.
yeah.
They're going to be like,
We talked about
See?
it.
Evil
Talked about it in the
Gemini.
last one. I'm learning these cuts,
Evil Gemini
okay?
did
He
it.
took over. He took over. We didn't
That's to
even
go
know.
ruin my mind.
Yeah.
And then that was the Leo. You were channeling
Yeah,
it's
I'm
all
channeling my
me.
Leo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Center of attention. I'm owning it. Why not?
I love it.
See? All right. Well, we got that. So you are, like you said, part of the rhythm.
That's right. Proud of it.
And it's been, I know you keep saying 11 years, but you said 2013, so doesn't that make it almost 12?
Oh, God.
Dang.
12 years. It's coming up on, yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. That's pretty
Doesn't.
wild.
Yeah.
It went by fast.
Yeah. It goes
Went
like
by
that.
Fast,
Yeah.
Still loving it, though.
That's
We
awesome.
have a great time. We're still just as hungry as we were when we started, so it's been an awesome journey. I love it.
Are you working on new music?
We are always new music. We just released Nothing But Love on Valentine's Day. That was our little kind of lovers rock track. And then we're actually doing a re-release of some of our old songs
Okay.
because we recorded them a while back. And,
I know, and you say, you're like, oh, they sound college, but I think they sound fine.
I like them, but in a way.
And then I like that you did like the acoustic versions of them.
Yeah, that was kind of on the fly. We were just like, we need to do something. And Tony Trombone plays for us, and he had a little studio set up, and he was kind of like, we should just bang out a little acoustic track this weekend. And so we did 3, and it was fun.
Nice.
But we're going to re-release some of our favorite tracks in the next coming months, Grounded and State of Mind, and what was it? I think Burque Smile or another one, but... Yeah, so we're going to re-release some of our favorite songs that people like. That
Right
I felt
on.
like they didn't get the recording justice they deserved back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like Taylor's version, but the rhythms version.
That's
That's what it
funny.
made me think of. Re-recording.
That's right, re-release. I mean,
Yeah.
we're 12 years in, so I guess it's not crazy to do a re-release. Those songs came out already. Man, it had to be 8 years ago already now.
Well, those were the ones that I originally heard. My son's Nino, which is a godfather if you're not brown.
That's a translation for everyone.
Yeah, he's the one who showed me the rhythms originally, and I had no idea what you look like or anything, and so it was on my SoundCloud playlist for a long time.
Oh, I love that.
And then I finally met Miles when I did an art show at Nopal.
Those were fun. I miss those.
And it was funny because I noticed him going in there and looking at my work and stuff. And then later on he performed. And then it all clicked. And I was like, whoa. And Albuquerque's small like that. But
Yeah, it
still,
is.
you'd never expect for like somebody that you already admire to be admiring your
wow.
work.
Gassing me
And
up.
so,
Gassing me up.
yeah, so it was cool.
Those are fun shows, too.
Yeah.
I miss those little...
I
Those
do
were cool.
too. It was so cool.
Yeah,
All
those
the
were great.
vendors and everything, like it would really pull a crowd.
It wouldn't. It felt like it was almost the same crowd every time. So it was almost like all
like
of
a
us,
community.
Yeah, like all of us were getting together every month to do that because it was always the same people there.
No,
and that
yeah.
was fun. I miss that.
Yeah, I miss
Those
it
were good
too.
times. That was
They talk
pre-COVID,
about. No, it was like.
Was it in,
kind of
in the mix
in
in
it.
the heat of it, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, just in case. Sorry, sorry guys.
It was before.
We couldn't help ourselves.
Yeah, it was before.
It was before.
I think it was like at the tail end.
Kind of.
Because I remember wearing like a mask and stuff. I think to the first one, and then I think it kind of, and that's why we did them outside.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, that makes sense now.
Yeah, only a certain amount of people were able to go in and look at the art, and then the rest of us, like everything else, all the vendors and everything was outside, and we just had kind of like a parking lot party. It was
The
were
world
great.
is like so different now. It's like it feels like to me it feels like a different time.
No,
There's
really,
like pre-COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah.
It's wild.
But I
Those were
feel
wild
like
times.
people are trying to act like it just never happened.
Right.
Like we're kind of at that stage where it's like, oh, and I'm like,
when I hear people getting it nowadays, I'm like, you still get that?
Oh,
Or like,
yeah.
And then
Right.
other people are like, it's gonna be here for. I don't know. I'm just like, wow, I thought that was like a one and done thing.
Right.
But I guess
Did you
it's
get
forever
it?
now. You know what? It's crazy. I got it before it was even a thing.
oh, really?
Oh,
Which
so you
was-
didn't know it was COVID?
No, and it was a
Okay.
weird, kind of like a weird experience because I got we've all gotten like strep or
Right.
flu or whatever, but I was coming down with something weird. Like I was
You
I was
lost
at
the
work
taste and
and I was
smell and all that?
I didn't lose taste and smell, but I
Okay.
got like a crazy fever. And I was just like out of it, and I was at work, and my boss was like, "You do not look good. You need to
like,
get
"Get the
the hell,
fuck
yeah,
outta
get out of
here."
here." Dude. So I went right to the hospital next door. I work right next to a hospital, and I went in, and they were like, "Oh yeah, just kind of wait around here for a minute." And they always give you that throat test,
Yeah.
which I hate that. And this time a lady came in, she's like, we have to do a different kind of
Your
test.
nose.
Yeah, she's like, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's better to do it just one time. So I was like, okay. And she did the nose thing, which I'd never had that.
Yeah.
And then I waited for like an hour, and I was like, what is going on? And they just came in and like, you have a virus. It's just going around. But you'll be fine. Just
It's just going around.
yeah. And I remember I was like, so that's it? Like, you don't know what it is? Like, it's just a virus. And that's all they would say. And I was like, okay. And I was sick, so sick for like a week. And I ended up just breaking it. I went to the gym with like a gallon of lemon water, and I sat in that dress on it until I was going to puke like 5 times in a row and just sweated. I guess you could sweat out COVID because it worked for me.
Well, that's smart. It's good to know.
And then I was better. And then a month later, COVID was like
Everywhere.
And I was like, ooh, I think I had that a
I
month
think
ago.
that's what I
was
had,
like, I think I got that, yeah.
I think that's that virus they
I was
wouldn't
like,
tell
did I start
me.
that? Because I was like, that
It
was
probably
like,
was you.
I might be patient zero, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
I was
gosh.
at that, I'm like, ooh, I definitely had that. That's
That
kind of
is
crazy.
funny.
Before it was like,
Wild.
so. But when it like finally was a thing, no, I never got it. We just,
I ended up getting it, but like a year later.
that
It
was
sucked.
awful times. I could not stand being in. It was just such.
Oh,
and then it was
yeah,
like,
being at home.
It was like the first time where I've
all
never.
caged.
Yeah, I feel like for our generation, it was the first time where the whole world had the same problem.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just a weird time, like.
It was very weird.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, very
we
weird.
had to do like, I'll admit it, we did some secret shows, and I couldn't help myself, man.
Well, yeah.
So we went to Texas because you know how Texas is.
Hell yeah.
And we got hit up by some people in Texas on Instagram. They're like, "Hey, man, we don't give a shit about COVID, and we're throwing shows, so we'll fly you out if you want to come play." And we did. We went and did some cool backyard shows out
That's
there in
cool.
Texas, and it was fun. But we had to keep it on the low. Kind
Yeah.
of. But
Yeah.
you know, I couldn't help it. I had
Not
to
in
do it.
Texas.
I couldn't take it anymore.
Well, yeah, no.
Couldn't take it anymore.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it was crazy times for sure.
I don't even know how we got to COVID.
I don't know either. Just
That's our problem. We just go off on
It's
tangents.
we're having gap time. What do girls call it? Gap time or yap time? I don't know.
Yap
yap
time.
time.
Yap time, there we go.
Yap time.
We'll
We
have
are
yap time.
definitely yappers.
Just yapping away.
Oh yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, she's like, do we want to ask him like just question? I was like, no,
Yeah.
that's not
No,
authentic.
just let it flow. Let
Yeah,
it flow. We're going
yeah.
into COVID. Who knows where we're gonna
It's
go?
not authentic.
Okay, so you just moved to South Padre Island, right?
did,
You
yeah.
were saying? Okay. Are you, because I'm not very familiar, were you born and raised here?
Yep. I
Okay.
was born in Albuquerque, and then I lived in Espanola until I started school.
Right on.
And then
I think it's so funny that he said that because he lived in Espanola for like 3 years, and those were like 3 years when he was a toddler. I'm all, you don't remember it.
I remember,
Stop.
like right before school. Well, school was such a hard thing too when I first got into it. So I feel like the preschool times were very like in my mind because as soon as school started, I was like, "Oh, this sucks!" Immediately.
That's
I
hilarious.
had the worst school experiences from the gate on. It was just awful.
Why? Just because you didn't like to be there?
I got bullied super bad.
Really?
Like real bad when I was young.
That's crazy.
And it started like day one, first day of school.
Over what?
I don't know. I just remember the first day of school. I don't know. It was like a strange thing. I know if I don't remember my parents explaining what school was to me, and I kind of just, or maybe I just didn't pay attention. But I remember getting to school and being like, "What the hell is this?" And my mom's like, "You're at school now."
Yeah,
like,
you gotta go here.
Yeah, she's like, "Yeah, this is where you go now."
Yeah.
And I'll see you later. And I'm like, "What?" And then it was just like a weird. And the first day though, going home on the bus. It was like a weird day. I was kind of like
he's gonna traumatize me.
Sebastian. I was like the weird little kid. I was just kind of like, I was always like a little. And I just remember the first time coming home on the bus. I'm like leaned against a little window, and I'm like, I can't wait to get home. And some kid was like, "Hey," and I turned around, smash, hit me with a rock. A rock right
in elementary school.
First day of kindergarten, boom,
oh my
with
goodness,
a rock,
kindergarten?
closed my eye, closed. I remember just waking up on the bus, and my mom was fucking going off on the bus driver.
That's what you get for living in the valley.
Exactly. La Luz, baby. La Luz. I went to La Luz, baby. So yeah, it was the hey kid, boom. And
no, that shit's fucking.
So I was like, oh, but yeah, I grew up in the valley. I went to La Luz, Garfield Valley. So I grew up in the North Valley.
I just found it was funny because I saw your interview that you said you went to Valley, and then I was getting my nails done yesterday, and I was telling my friend, oh yeah, I'm interviewing Miles tomorrow. She's like, oh, I went to high school with him. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you went to Valley.
Everyone from Valley too, whenever I see them, they're like, so what are you doing now? And I'm like, so I'm doing music and I'm doing this. And they're like, oh, okay, so you're just doing the same thing you've always been doing then.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. But no, we were talking about this in the interview with Josh. I think it's awesome when people find their passion young like that.
It is a blessing.
Yes,
it's been a great time.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have done it any other way.
I've just been a lost tumbleweed in the wind.
A lot of people tell me that because I'm like, just feel like I just did music. You get these times, whatever. But everyone I tell it to is like, dude, no way, man. It's cool that you do something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've been doing it since kid. I played my first bar show when I was like 12, 13. I used to play at Misty's Hideaway.
Oh, wow.
And they would kick us out. They'd kick me and my drummer out. We were underage. And
that's where I saw Broken Side for the first time.
Broken Side, baby.
That's where I met him for the first time.
The lore, you guys. The lore. Pay attention.
Misty's like a...
Misty's Hideaway, man. Yeah, that little corner stage. We used to play on that. Yep. And yes, I've been playing since I was young. Way back from
because you picked up a guitar at 9.
I did, yeah. Yeah.
And
she did her research.
I
told
you.
Yeah, she's ready.
How do you know this? Yeah, she knows me.
We're on it, okay? One thing about Burqueñas, they're going to find out everything.
Oh, yes. Right? Now I told you I was crazy.
There's some pretty in-depth stuff
My girlfriend's
here.
going to love you. Hell yeah.
Now you're getting the taste of it.
She's going to be like, so on Instagram in 2011.
Yeah. So you were posted here, but I heard you were here. That's crazy.
Right.
Well, so I did see that you picked up a guitar at 9.
I did, yeah.
Did you have lessons like until middle school? Because I saw that you were like in band and stuff in school.
It's weird.
Or were you just self-taught?
On guitar, I was self-taught. So I remember my mom's at our old house. She was, my mom's. Nice. I have a younger mom. Yeah.
My brother was like that. Well, is like that. Yeah. He just plays by ear, and it was not that for me.
It's so fresh.
And then he would teach me, and that was cool. Like I'm like a visual learner.
Yeah.
And so he taught me like La Bamba and stuff, and I just learned through him. But it's funny because I'm left-handed, but he's right-handed, so I just had to learn right-handed. So now I play guitar that way.
It's hard. Yeah,
no, and it's not. It's really, I don't know. Now it's hard to play the other way.
That's crazy.
I'm like, it's really weird.
Yeah. So I played in like jazz band when I was younger, but I played guitar, and then when you're like a young 12-year-old, and I was trying to get into band, the jazz band stuff, and I tell my teacher like, hey, can I play guitar instead of whatever else they flute or clarinet?
Yeah, violin.
And they're like, no.
Shit. Really?
Yeah, they're like, no, we don't have. I think because guitar is kind of hard to put in. Yeah, so I think he was just like, no, and I was like, please, I don't want to play. So he put me on stand-up bass.
Okay.
So I played stand-up bass and jazz band. That's
kind of cool.
And then I kind of just took how I was, because they were teaching me how to play that, and then I kind of would apply that stuff to guitar myself. You know what I mean? But I self-taught guitar. I took some lessons in high school from this kid from UNM. He was a classical guitarist because I just was into it at the moment. And,
no, my son, his does the drum lessons.
And when we were in high school, YouTube was like, I remember in high school, Now it's like Google, like YouTube is endless.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in high school, when
we used to have to look up tabs, and it was hard to find.
Or like you go on YouTube and you could actually scroll to the bottom of a subject.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you went to like classical guitar on YouTube back then, it was like 7 videos. You know what I mean? Like, or like 100. So it wasn't that much. So I had some classical guitar lessons and shit, but I've always just had that rock and roll style. Just for some reason, I don't know why.
Because then in high school, that's where you
I started. Yeah, we started a metal band in high school, and I did that for like 8 years. And we played with some good bands. We got to play with like, for all the like super death metal guys out there with like Dying Fetus and like real crazy bands like that. You know, at the Compound when it was still open in Laramie Square.
The Compound.
Right? I love the Compound. I played a million shows there. And I did that for a long time.
I was laughing because he did that interview with that other kid. And I was like, this kid doesn't know anything about any of these things. He was like, oh, yeah, I remember Hastings. I was like, bro, Hastings was closed when that kid was like in middle school.
I don't even know. I guess, damn, I forget how much. We have young spirits. So I guess when I get around young people, I'm like, yeah, you remember. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, I forget that because you're 24 and I'm 32, that means that.
That wasn't around then,
I forget that. I'm like, oh, wow, that's wild. Yeah. I forget.
But
I'm
no,
almost
the
9 years
Compound
older.
was the spot.
That was the shit. Remember that? The Compound
Start doing
well,
like
and it's so funny because I feel like we were so spoiled then because all the shows were so intimate.
And so dope.
And now,
there's a million of them.
Yeah, and now it's always like amphitheaters, and I refuse to go to stuff like that because it's just not for me. I like the intimate setting, and I think that's why, because high school ruined
The
me.
Compound was just a stage with a carpeted room and one Pepsi machine.
And we were all.
And we would and some good bands played there too.
Yeah.
Like some really good bands played there.
Oh,
And those
yeah.
were fun times, man.
Yeah.
I loved the Compound.
I had a bunch of friends that were in bands, so
Yeah.
I was always doing that kind of stuff.
I got to go to a couple of shows. I remember that.
Laramie Square, man. I loved that place. That was fun. Compound days were great.
Yeah. So you guys played the Compound, and then
So with my metal band, we played that for until I was out of high school.
is that the same band that you have tattooed?
Yes, I got these in high school. It was my metal band, Morphin Machine.
Hey.
And it's so funny because a lot of people who know me from back in the day, they're like, dude, it's really crazy to see you
doing reggae.
Yeah,
now?
but you know what? Also at the same time, like back then, I always loved reggae music. I really did, and like I remember listening to Josh Heinrichs and Slightly Stupid and Revolution when no one knew about them.
Yeah.
Like when they were.
It's wild how large Revolution has gotten.
I found speaking of Hastings, I remember they had that random. They just had like a bucket of like used CDs that were like 50 cents. That's how I discovered Slightly Stupid. I saw their album cover. This like robot pouring weed smoke on the city.
And that's the other thing is it was a lot harder to stumble upon music back then.
So
like we had MySpace and that helped a ton.
MySpace
but before MySpace, it was like you had to know somebody that knows somebody.
So Hastings honestly might be the reason why I love it so much because I was just at Hastings and I saw that Slightly Stupid, and then I got into that, and then I started. So I always liked that stuff, and
the Hastings plays a huge role. Even like Broken Sides come up too.
R.I.P. Hastings.
Really? Yeah, well, because Sev
bring it back.
Yeah, Sev put out like a rap album there, and he sold it there. And then our friend Jay went and bought it, and then became like a fan of his, and then hit him up on MySpace and was like, "I'm such a fan. If you ever want to collab and stuff," and then it just kept going.
See, Hastings is. We don't know what we lost from that.
Well, and it was so crazy because I had like
I
had a hard childhood, like especially in high school times and stuff. So I would drive to Hastings if I didn't have anywhere else to go and just read books and
drink coffee.
I didn't have money to buy the books, so I would sit there and read.
Just hang out.
Yeah, bug them.
I loved Hastings.
Hastings was so cool.
But yeah, I always loved that kind of music, and I remember even in high school, like people, even when I was playing like the death metal shit, and we'd go in my car to smoke weed or whatever after the show. We can say that. And
always free.
I'm like, we're gonna,
No.
And I'd put on, I'd have
It's
that
legal,
in my car.
sir.
I'd have it in my car, and all my friends would be like, "Can you turn this reggae weird shit off, dude? This is all Miles listens to." And it was the same when I was in a metal band. People would be like, "I don't understand you get on stage and you're playing fucking death metal, and then we come into your car and you're listening to this kind of shit." But I always loved it. So on my own time, like, I always had a little soft part of me that was like, I want to write my own songs. And they always just came out that style. I don't know what it was.
What is your current favorite song?
Like of all time or that I love right now? Ooh, let's see. Current favorite song right now. Oh, man, there's so many. And it's hard, too, because I want to big up so many of my friends that, like, play. You know what I mean? So I'm, like, trying to, let me see, what is my genuine favorite song right now?
I should have you make a small playlist for when this releases.
Oh yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
I will. You know what? I really am super into Sacred Souls right now.
Yeah. Are you gonna go to the concert?
When are they coming?
In June. Fuck. Are you gonna be on?
I'll be up. Of course, man. When I'm here, there's like I'm gonna go. Actually, speaking of metal shit, I'm gonna go see on Friday night. I'm gonna go see Upon a Burning Body with my guitarist because he's a metalhead too. It's hard. I would have to say.
Right now, when you're in your car, what are you listening to?
What's on repeat?
The Sacred Souls, their album that they put out, that they're like super
most
popping
recently
on.
one?
Yeah, I love that one. I'll have that on repeat. And then there's a Hawaiian band called Rukadal Rhythm, and I really like them too.
Oh, do you know what's funny is so I stumble upon music more now on TikTok than anywhere else.
Really?
And yeah, and I have a thing saved right now, and they go around asking the locals in Hawaii, what's your favorite song?
Yeah, I love that dude.
And so there's like 5 songs that I want to add to my playlist that I have it saved, so
that
I can go back and do it.
I really like that guy because he goes to like real local, and they'll for real put out some like real local Hawaiian, because I love Hawaiian reggae, because it's like R&B reggae. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I love Hawaiian reggae.
Yeah.
I just love Samoan reggae. So good to me. So that dude, he spreads the word on a lot of great bands. I've seen a couple people big up Rukadal Rhythm on that.
That's cool.
One girl's like, I like this song. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
yeah, I really like, but the Sacred Souls, it just something about those dudes right now.
I bought my tickets because I didn't get to see, because the only time they've come, it's been in Santa Fe. Both the 2 times that they've come, it's been in Santa Fe. And I always have a hard time getting out there because it's always during the week and I have kids and all the things. And so when I saw that they were coming here, I was like, I bought my tickets right away. I bought 2 tickets and I was like, I don't know who's coming with me, but I've got the ticket. So I was like, I'm going to try to see if my dad wants to go.
Oh, that's cool. You know what? The parents really like that too because it's that old like.
Well, yeah, that's what's funny
You know
is
what I'm
because my dad loves oldies, and so I'm always sending him the new oldies that
That's
I
such a
find.
good, I love that people are bringing that style back.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
There's another guy called Joey Quinones, I think is
Yes.
his name. You know that guy? He's super dope too, and he has a band. There's a couple like the Sinceres, those guys.
Is it
Sinceres or
I think so. Sinceres?
Something. Those guys are
Yeah.
great. But I love that people are bringing back that like oldie style.
Yes.
It's super awesome.
Well, that's how I grew up.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
That makes sense.
yeah.
It's really cool. I
It
love
speaks
that.
to my soul.
Straight up, I love that. The first time I heard the Sacred Souls, I was just cause I have the YouTube Premium. I love YouTube Premium. The no ads thing is so
Yeah.
cool. But for music, it's great because I'll just siphon through all kinds of stuff. I'll just have it on repeat. And they just came up one day. I saw their Tiny Desk.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, I forget what I was doing, but I was
See,
like, this
and
is
that
dope.
makes
And I
me
just like,
mad,
yeah.
Miles, because I posted them back in 2020 when you were following me. And
Shit,
I
see?
put the world on
See?
to Can I Call You Rose?
Yeah.
Oh, but nobody's caught on it until the last year.
No one's
Now
giving you
everyone's
accolades.
like, oh, Can I Call You Rose? I love that song.
Yeah, bro. I've
I'm
already
like,
listened to that
yeah,
song.
it's
That song's
played out. I don't
dog.
even like to listen to it anymore. Yeah.
You don't even know their new shit.
Well, and I do like their new album. They
It's
had
good.
a couple songs
Yeah.
that I'm really into, and I'm excited to see because I watched them on Coachella
Yeah.
over the weekend to see what they were gonna play on their set and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I do my research.
I can tell. I'm like, yo, what do you got on the Sacred Souls in that notebook right there? Like,
There's nothing there, but maybe. Oh, we can get them. We
What?
should have them
Oh,
on the
man.
pod.
We would love to.
Oh, my
Oh,
goodness.
that's a thought. You
Imagine.
just
I'll be
sparked-
waiting right outside
little
the
light bulb.
studio door out there like, with my pen
Nope,
and
you're
sign
gonna
it.
be gone.
Like,
You're
damn
not gonna
it.
be here.
All the best stuff happens when I'm gone.
Well, that's the part of summer touring time. It's funny because like our friend Curtis is in town now, but he usually is like a driver for a lot of bands on tours, and then like Broken Side just went on tour, and like it's so I'm like, oh, everybody's gone. That's how it goes.
Have fun wherever you guys go.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah,
it's funny, but so you're going on tour.
we are.
You don't you have a show this weekend? A couple, right?
So we do a big 420 show every year. We've been doing it with High Desert Relief. Man, even that's been a long time. I want to say this might be even our 6th or 7th one.
Oh, that's cool.
And we threw it one year just because I worked there.
Okay.
Huge ups to High Desert Relief too. Those people are amazing and they've helped us out a lot. But when I first started working there, it was like the Launchpad offered us 420 was a Saturday, And like, if you guys want to throw one, because, you know, you guys have weed songs, it'd be fun. And I told my boss, like, hey, we're throwing this show, and like, it's a weed kind of show, and I work at a dispo. It seems kind of just natural that we should do something.
Yeah.
So they sponsored the event, and then we made it a big, huge thing. And then it was such a huge event that we just do it every year. And it's always such a huge show. It's my favorite show that we do every year. So we're starting our tour with that one. And then, because I think 420 is Easter this year.
Yes.
It is,
So
yeah.
we're doing it the 19th on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
And I was like, I might be able to make it then. Because
Yeah.
I wasn't going to. Like, Scary Kids is coming on 420. And I was like, everybody keeps trying to bug me to go. And I'm like,
you gonna
it's
go?
Easter. It's the Lord's Day.
Yeah.
Get struck by lightning. You know?
Well, and I'm also like not super stoked on the high school reunion that'll go down.
I feel that.
That makes me nervous.
I was a little like, damn, because this year I've always wanted to see Santana. I've never seen him. And
Me either.
he's going to be here on the 19th.
Shut up.
So I was like, man, we got to compete with Santana this year. No way. So we're playing for our friends and stuff this year, but man.
I would love.
You
Oh,
shouldn't
me
have even
too.
told me. I was gonna go to your
Yeah,
show,
I know,
and
right?
now I'm all.
I would have felt bad if I'd have kept that from you. 'Cause
Might have
I
to
want to
go
go.
see Santana. I almost named my daughter Santana.
Really? Oh, God, I love Santana so much. So.
Yeah. Well, and I'm like, he's getting at that point where
77.
you might not ever see him again if you don't see
who
him
knows? He
now.
might do a Bob Dylan and do into his 90s, but I hope
would
so.
love that.
Tony Bennett did it, so who knows? I
He's
think
such a
Santana
gangster.
could, yeah.
I watched.
He seems healthy too. I've seen him. His
Yeah.
Well,
interviews, and he
no,
seems like-
didn't you see? He was like in the hospital and
Was
stuff.
he?
He canceled the tour. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Some shit's been going
She-
down.
her
That's what,
research is like, yo.
I know.
really, it's usually her. She's got all the facts.
It's like, wait, hold on, let me check my.
But I just the people
Says
that
right
I
here.
like, I'm in it. But yeah, so that's why I was saying.
Yeah, so
You might have to see him.
I'm heard that I don't get to see Santana this year, but we love our 420 event. We're going to throw it this year again, and we have the mango cakes and elevated roots and Interstate and Buddha Funk, and then we have some cool vendors and live artists. And
And
you
reggae
know,
shows are so fun.
yeah, it's always fun. And you know what's funny is
Everybody's smoking in the crowd.
Yeah.
You're just vibing, dancing. Yeah.
we do a bunch of cool stuff at the show. Now every year we're doing we have these little rituals we do, so it's gonna be fun. And then after that we're going to California, and we're gonna be playing in San Diego, a few places, and then we play LA, Huntington Beach area.
Okay.
So at our favorite spots, I'm really lucky. We're going to be hitting Winston's, which is a really good legendary spot out there in Ocean Beach, and then the Poorhouse in Oceanside, which we love Oceanside as well, and then the Harp we're playing, which is a really
it's
excited
hard to
for
not
that one.
love everywhere in California.
Yeah, and you know what too? We're very lucky because we have a lot of love out there.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of really close friends out there. So half the time, whenever we do tours and we'll go to Arizona, Colorado, and Utah, and Nevada, it feels very tour-like. You know, because we're going to a show. We don't really know anyone there, and then people come and we're meeting these people for the first time who are watching us. But California almost feels like here now. We go out there and it's
home.
all of our friends, and people come out, and a bunch of people, and we know all the band. It's just a fun time. So
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
I try and squeeze in as many Cali dates as we can.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
it's
and
just
it
so
makes
great.
sense.
Yeah.
The vibe is there.
It is,
with
yeah.
the ocean.
And then you know, a lot of our friends who are in really good bands are out there, and we're able to only really link with them when we're out there. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to get out there and play with those guys and hit those venues.
And you've played on the beach before, correct?
Yeah, we play. We're doing that one. There's a venue in Huntington Beach called Sea Legs on the beach, and it's
I think that's so
my
cool.
favorite venue. I mean,
I wish I could be there for that because
I gotta look it up. I haven't heard of it.
you know what? It's funny too because we played there the first time.
I've been to Huntington, but I don't know where.
It's beautiful. It's the first time we played there. You know, 'cause I guess if you're from California, you grow up there, and it's but I was so excited to play there, and our friends were it's a cool venue, but it's a great venue, but
Well, yeah, no, the people that live in California are so
Yes.
unappreciative of what they have.
well, I was just like, dude, you got to understand something, Doug. I was like, when you're a kid from Albuquerque, New Mexico,
dirt, yeah.
and you think about what making it is. I would think about when I was younger, being able to play on the beach, have some fans, and that's exactly what we just did. We're on the beach. The dance floor is the sand. You know what I mean?
it's so
It's
cool.
awesome. And then we have fans out there enough. People are singing our lyrics back at us in California.
It's so cool.
All of our friends, we're out there I was like, if this ain't making it, I don't know what is, man. For a
Yeah.
kid out of Albuquerque,
Yeah.
this is as good as it gets in a way. So we love playing Sea Legs, and we're lucky. We got to play there every year for the past 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah, it's super
Every
cool.
summer we
That's
hit
awesome.
it, so we're very lucky.
Yeah, that would be a cool experience. I love being on the beach, obviously.
Yeah.
Who does? Well, There are people that don't love it, but I love it. And it would be so cool to have live music while you're sitting there.
It's really
watching
cool.
A sunset
and that's the thing
stuff.
about that.
Do you get to
venue,
play
too.
like during sunsets?
So we usually play in the daytime, and then it ends around kind of like sunset-ish. They bring like DJs and stuff in the night.
So you get to chill.
But right at the end of the last band is right when it's kind of getting that golden hour.
Yeah, well, because that's always like everybody's. I've noticed like even when I watched Ultra, the Miami thing that I told you about, like that's like the prime for all DJs and stuff. Like they want that slot.
Yeah,
makes sense.
That golden hour, you can't beat that sunset over the water.
Yeah.
You can't beat it, man. You really can't.
And then usually like they end their set and it's dark, and so it's just a vibe. It's cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm really, really excited, and we love California. We love going out there, and we've worked really hard to get out there and have the fan base that we have now. We're really lucky. All our hard work has definitely paid off. So,
and so when you tour, it's just like there's a few states that you continuously go to?
Well, at first,
you haven't done like all of them, right?
No, we usually do the Southwest a lot. So we've gone as far east as Austin. But to be honest, it's like, I felt like when we were doing this whole thing, because even our first tour was a little rough, but I get it. Like, I get it. And a lot of people sometimes from here, musicians will be like, Cali people just show us hate. But I'm like, you got to understand something though, dude. Like, we're from here, so we have a lot of pride. And I get that. I love New Mexico. I love Albuquerque, but it's because I'm born and raised. It's in my blood. But like, especially for reggae music, it's like, that's where that's from. Right. So I always say this, but it makes so much sense to me. But I'm like, imagine if a dude from LA was growing green chili and came to New Mexico and was like, I grow the baller's green chili. You need to try it. We would all be like, I'm not trying that. So I imagine if, I come out, I'm like, we're going to play reggae from Albuquerque. Yeah. Like, I don't blame them for being like.
You don't think you could go to like Florida and stuff?
Now, back east is a little bit more, but also it all ties into California in a way because everyone wants to go to California. It's the biggest state in the country. Everyone loves it. You know what I mean? Everyone likes to go there. Everything comes out of there. All the movies are there. So if you have a big following there, it's a lot easier to get access for the rest of the country. Because if they look at you and go, all right, well, what have you guys done? And they look and say, damn, these guys play California 4 times a year. They're playing with all these bands. We'll have them. You know what I mean?
That's
as opposed to like, well, they played Ohio and Atlanta and Oklahoma City. You know what I mean? So
yeah, from like a promoter standpoint.
Especially from reggae music standpoint, people in the rest of the country want to see that you have some clout in California.
Sure, makes sense.
We've been trying to build that up, and honestly, now we're kind of to a point to where we've had enough fan base in the Southwest and in California to where it's getting a lot easier to go back east now. We've gotten a lot of offers from Atlanta, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, Texas. Now we're going to start doing a lot of Texas stuff. So now is the time I think we're going to start
branching off.
Yeah. And we're a little bit more, we're getting up there a little older, so we're not as like, let's all.
He's younger than us.
Not even 35.
Oh, he's younger than us.
What do you guys? I thought you guys were 26. They're 26, guys.
I'm
Me
19.
too. So that's been our whole thing, and we've just been and then I think in that goal we got caught up in just how much we love it out there. So it's hard to like, all right, guys, we can. And maybe we should.
It's always you want to build your fan base, and the only way to do it is to tour. And it sucks because then you have to pay your dues, and you play in front of like 2 people and shit.
And then it's hard to.
But it grows in time.
The road can be so rough too, and even if you're doing really even when
you would just have to like open for somebody.
That's what I'm trying to do is maybe if one of our bigger homies like Kyle Smith or whatever.
Well, it's like hop on a Revolution tour,
something like that. We're trying to do so. It is hard too because when we book our own tours, I'm like, all right, guys, should we try and go to like all these places we've never been, or should we go to Cali and see all of our friends and play and for sure have some? So it's really hard. And then we all work and we all have. So it's like when we make this time,
sense.
we're like, let's just go to Cali again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
It's fun out there. We love it out there. All of our friends,
it.
some of our best friends are out there. So, and that's another thing too. We've made such good friends with people out there that a lot of times whenever we go tour, that's the only time we get to see them. So it feels like almost like we're going to see our friends and family, and then we get to play shows.
It's a bonus,
on top. Yeah. So it's a great thing, and it's beautiful out there. It has everything you want and need. But we're definitely going to start this next couple years going back east and trying to get on some runs, especially through the South and out to Florida in the next few years, because I definitely want to breach out a little bit more, because we get a lot of plays when we look up our stuff in Florida, Atlanta, New Jersey, New York.
I could see you doing well there.
Yeah, so it's time to explore a little bit more.
That's exciting.
Yeah. I did see that you said the person that kind of like put you out there in general, like gave you the courage to start singing and stuff, was part of the Big Spank.
Oh yeah, Mike.
And see, for me, when I heard that, I was like, oh, because my stepbrother, he's friends with them. And so I've been listening to them since I was like 10.
Me too.
And so it's funny because that I'm like 10 years old and I'm like, I took my pee out the other day. You know what I mean?
Yo, I had their, because my aunt, the way I found out about them is my aunt used to date, not Mike, I think Mark is who she dated.
Okay.
But I had their, like, one of their Launchpad posters in my room for, like, all through high school, and we would listen to the same thing. I loved them, and then we got to meet Mike, and then we started playing and hanging out together, and I kind of knew him through the scene. And then when me and Chris, we weren't even a band. We were literally just, my band had broken up, his band had broken up, and we were kind of just hanging out, playing stuff. And I was like, I have some songs, and I think Mike came by. I can't remember why. Maybe just chill, but
he heard the poster?
No, he saw us playing, and he was like, what are you guys doing? I said, oh, we're just kind of jamming. And so, well, let me see what you got. So we were playing, and he goes, yo, this is good, dude. He's like, do you guys, I was like, it's just me and him. And he's like, well, in like a month, we have a show, and we need an opener. You guys want to open? And I hadn't played in like a year, so I was like, yes, we'll play. So
Figure it out.
Yeah, me and Chris just got the rest of the band together and threw it together, and we went and played that show, and it's just been that way ever since. But
I think that's so cool.
I don't think if Mike would have been like, you guys want that show, that's what really, I was like, oh yeah, like
this could really be a thing. Yeah.
So big ups to the Big Spank are amazing guys and a great band.
Yes.
Some of the best Albuquerque shows I've ever seen are the Big Spank.
Well,
they're great.
They had such a, because at the time, like, ska was barely a thing.
Yeah.
And so
it was like a niche thing.
Yeah. And so I'm so proud of them.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool.
They're
and it's
great.
funny because my brother's like 10 years older than me. So he was old. And so he was like exposing me and then his younger brother to it. And so we were all, and we thought we were so cool, you know? Because again, you had to really search around for music at the time.
For sure, yeah.
And so it was cool.
Yeah, I love the Big Spank. Those guys are definitely the big homies. We appreciate them.
I think that's awesome. Speaking of touring, I think a lot of people think that touring's like this glamorous, cool thing, but as somebody who knows the behind the scenes, it is not. There's a lot of sleeping in vans.
Oh, yeah.
And,
on the floor.
Yeah.
Gas station fruit. I ate a lot of gas station fruit
and,
on the road.
Taking showers in the green rooms and all kinds of.
Venues with showers are
heaven sent, yes. And they're not great showers.
Usually not, but it's just like a hose at that point. So you know, it can be rough for sure. But a lot of time, and you know what, we're looking back, we're very lucky because there are definitely bands who have had it a lot harder than us. We've been to some places where we're starving, we're sleeping on the floor, we're like, we don't know how we're getting to the next show, but let's just go, I guess, you know, or things happen, you know, the road's crazy, even just, and then traveling, it's just a lot of things. But
your friend breaks down, all the things.
We're really, really lucky. And our first tour, we got really lucky because at the time here when we started the band, a lot of bands would kind of pass through New Mexico but not play. So I would hit them up and be like, just come play, man. And I don't know. So once we started getting band shows here,
I think it's cool that you kind of brought the scene here. You have played a part in that.
Well, you know, a lot of it was just weird because when we started, I was like, I want to do that. I love this, and I feel like we can do this, man. Like it just felt like just so in my grasp of what we were doing. So when I would see these bands coming through and they would be skipping, I would always see their tour flyers were like California, Arizona, 4 days off, Texas, you know? So I would hit them up and be like, hey, man, I know you got a day off, but if you guys want to come play, we'd love to have a show for you here. We won't even take a cut. You can take the whole door. You got a place for you to stay. We'll get you some food. Like just trying to get them out here.
Yeah.
And then they started coming and then coming more and more. And, there's a guy named Rudy Rude who he still does some things here and there, but at the time he was doing stuff with the Rise Roots and Ayaterra, and we brought them out to Low Spirits out there in the North Valley when it was still open, and it was a great show. And after that, Rudy was like, yo, I see you guys bringing out a lot of bands, and we appreciate you guys for what you're doing for us to bring us out here. So he's like, I have this tour. It's already done. Everything's in the books. We just need to add a band to it if you guys want to come. And it was a great tour with Idle Vibes. Huge ups to Idle Vibes. I love those guys. But it was like 14 dates, most of them in California, Arizona, Colorado a little bit, and we went on that first run. So we were hitting really good venues right away. We just got lucky.
Yeah, that's
with
awesome.
Getting to open for a really good band.
Yeah.
And then on that
That's
first
always
tour,
the key, huh?
it was it was just such a lucky thing for us. And then that first tour, we met a lot of our really good friends that we, from that point, just always were kicking in with them. I always big ups to Dad's Elixir people. We've been sponsored by those guys for many years, and if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't even have been able to do a lot of the California stuff we do.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that they sponsor like that.
They're great people. They've hosted us many times, and they're awesome dudes, and they've helped us. We've built like this whole friendship with a lot of people out there that makes it easier to go out on the road. Because we've done some where it's, we do a lot of Colorado dates or Arizona dates, and we're staying at the Econo Lodge, and then, half of us are in the van, or we're doing this or that. And those times can, after like 10 of those shows, it really stacks up. So when we get to California or places that were a little more well known, and we have some friends who are like, you can come sleep here, we'll barbecue for you guys. Those are the ones where we're like, man. And you just feel so lucky that,
right.
It's like, man, you almost feel bad because it's like, I'm just making noise up here, and these people like it enough to host us, have us come to our show, take time out of their day, money to come, whatever they're doing. If you're not making money, you're spending it. So they take their time to come see us, and we're really lucky like that. But yeah, we've had some times on the road for sure.
Yeah.
We've hit some snags. Yeah.
So are you at the point where you have a rider when you tour?
Like a driver?
No, like
a rider
at the venue.
Oh, like I'm all rider.
So riders,
like your list of like
the
snacks.
things that they have to provide.
Oh God, I feel bad when people, because we've had some venues that ask us that, but I just feel so, I don't know. It feels weird to me to be like, I would like some Sprite and then M&Ms, but only the orange ones, like. And
you don't have to be all Zoolander about it. But
to me, it feels like even being like, we would like some sandwiches. Even that feels like too much to me. I don't know why, because I just already feel
it's a normal thing.
So
even like in Europe,
going.
they do that.
So some venues are cool, and right off the bat, like, what do you guys need? When you get here, what do you want in the green room? And I'm always just like, surprise us. Whatever you guys are, are willing to give us, we're
sweet.
Cool. And a lot of people are like, that's really sweet, because some bands are like, we'll take 10 pizzas, and and then they're taking that shit on the road with them later.
Well, now I know that you saw, like, I know Seb's band used to always ask for, like, they wanted Grey Goose there, they wanted
or some people like, we want this liquor or whatever. But, and it's a lot of times, like, there was a venue in, I think it was in Colorado, where they asked us that, and they were like, what would you guys like? And same thing. I was like, whatever you guys can provide, we're very thankful for. If you guys can provide anything for us, we'd very much appreciate it.
Do you guys drink before playing, or
not anymore?
You just let the devil's lettuce do the work.
Yeah, not even now. Not even that anymore. Like,
really,
I've gotten so like.
Do you forget?
I don't
lyrics
forget
when you smoke.
I don't know what it is. I feel like I'm almost getting more nervous now.
The anxiety ramps up.
It just feels more like, because back then I was like, all right, we're trying to do something, but I don't know if we can really pull this shit off. So I'm just going to have fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to enjoy this while I'm here. But now I'm like, oh shit, we might actually, people kind of take us a little seriously.
Yeah.
So now I feel like I need to respect that and be like, all right, but.
No, stage fright is real.
It feels.
That was like, so I had mentioned that I was in choir in high school and stuff, and I would have to do solos, and I would die. Like, it was so hard. And I think maybe now that I'm older, it wouldn't be as bad. But back then, when you're like so insecure already, just as a human, like you're like, oh.
For me too, a big thing is like, I'm such a potty mouth. I'm really bad.
Oh,
I'm such a potty mouth.
I'm a sailor.
And on stage, I've had my band a lot of times be like, dude, can you not say fuck to the stage so many times, or call them,
how the fuck are you doing?
Exactly. Get the fuck. Like, but I notice I'm like, oh, you're right.
Put your fucking hands together.
Anytime I have a little bit of shots before, my filter goes out the window. So I'm up there just, and I get that. So I'm like, all right, maybe I need to chill a little, because that's hard to control when I'm up there and the vibe is so like, because it feels good, like people are feeling it, and you just
and that's how like metal shows are.
And I need to I don't know,
and that's your roots.
I don't know if I've never really asked anyone, but I would assume maybe some front guys or like lead singers have maybe like a scripted what I'm going to say to the crowd. Some things I say just I'll say them again and again, but I think it's just because I feel that again and again.
Yeah.
But I never really.
Well, and it worked, and you're probably like, oh, okay.
I just say, I'm like, oh, yeah. So, but a lot of times I'm just up there, and I don't know what the hell's gonna fly out of my mouth. So I'm like, I need to behave, but after the show for sure, I'm gonna enjoy it, and
I feel like it's like when you're on stage that do you like black out, or you're just like.
What's weird is like,
or are you aware?
It's like the 20 minutes before you go on. I'm like freaking out for some reason because I'm like, and you're thinking, going through all the things in your head, and then as soon as they're like, all right, it's time, and we're setting up,
you're in the zone.
I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's all gone. And then as soon as we start, and also too, the way we practice, we're very meticulous. So we have our set down. We don't play to a click or anything like that. And we're like militant with the way we practice. We're like, okay, again, till it's down in our head. You know what I mean? So we get up there, and a lot of times it just falls out of us, and we're able to just kind of ride the set. Do
you guys have like any pre-show like rituals, or do you have like any pre-show like superstitions?
No. Not. Mainly it's the guys making fun of me because they're all so like, oh fuck yeah, dude, we're gonna. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, like, dude, will you chill out? How many times have we done this?
Yeah.
Like, let's just go play a show. What we do? I'm like, no, I just want to make sure that I got an extra pick in my pocket, and all right, everything's tightened, and I got all my stuff, and all right, it's wrapped here. I like have a whole laundry list myself that I go through, and the guys are like, just go play. Yeah. I wish I was like, my band is so cool, calm, collected about stuff. I'm always the one that's like, what are we going to do? And they're like, dude, it's really not that big. Let's just go play. Yeah, let's play.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to chill.
All right, guys. Yeah. So a lot of times it's them being like, he's freaking out. But
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's part of the process.
Yeah. I think like that's the ritual, is me being nervous and them being like, this fucking guy. So.
Well, that's the Gemini. There you go. Like,
exactly. That might be it.
You have the switch.
Man.
You get out there and it's another person or someone else. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, if you don't have a rider, what are your favorite munchies?
You know what? Here, like in town, when I'm not on the road, I really like dates a lot.
Well, that's a healthy choice.
Well, if you eat 100 of them, it's probably not.
No, yeah.
So I love dates. I try not to, but bread is like, I love fucking bread. That's why I'm such a gordo. I can't get enough of that shit, man. And then, you go to your grandma's house. She's like, here's a sopapillo and some beans and some rice and some shit.
Tortilla,
so, yeah, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
On the road, though, I try and be a little bit more mindful about it. Because also, too, it's different. When you drive 12 hours and then you get somewhere and then, like you're staying even if you're staying in someone else's house that's your friend, you're not in your own zone. So it feels off a little bit. So I just, whatever I can do to like keep my mind right. So I try not to eat super bad out there, although
it's difficult sometimes too, because you like play a show and then you get off and it's late and then there's only certain things open and Taco Bell all the time.
Like I said, gas station fruit. I eat gas station bananas by the bundle, man.
You're brave.
So a lot of water, a lot of gas station fruit. And honestly too, most of the time I personally will lose weight on the road because I'm like, look, man, I'm not trying to have an upset tummy on stage.
No, not only that, but I think that's like a thing because you're also like performing and it burns so much calories.
And just, traveling, and then, if we're not traveling, then we're trying to make the most of what we're doing out there. So like, let's film some content, let's go do this, or let's all go to Top Golf, or let's all go this. So we're usually, here in town, I find myself a little bit more like, all right, I guess I'm just chilling and I'll have some chips or something.
I'll have some dates.
I'm like, chips. I really love dates. Are super. I don't know what it is about them. I just love. Dates are expensive though. So it sucks. But even like in Texas, they sell these huge. Everything's bigger in Texas. Yeah. So there's huge tubs of them.
Well, no, and
that we'll get. Yeah, and
Texas is bad. There's like fast food joint on every corner. Yo. It's Fat City over there.
Yeah, I'm there. My girl's like, "Hey, the gas station's here. Let's go to Laredo." And I'm like, "Laredo." So I go over there with her, and I don't know about this, Laredo. And the gas stations in Texas have amazing taco restaurants in them. Like you walk into the gas station, there's people sitting down at tables, and it's so good. So
that's funny.
But yeah, on the road I try to be a little bit more about and then too here too, I'm always going back and forth with trying to be healthy and then getting stoned and being like, well, I could probably have a
it's just one. It's a cheat day.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, it's a vegan cookie. So I can have 5. I'm like,
yeah.
So, yeah, the guys are a lot more. They indulge. They'll get down. And
Do you guys play pranks on each other?
Oh, my God.
All the time.
That's the best part of touring.
It's not really so much everyone. It's my guitarist.
It's just him.
Guy, man, since we're kids. He just... And we grew up in that Jackass era.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny is like the guys in Broken Sand used to pants each other and they would do it like on airplanes and shit. Like, and then they did it like at the Coliseum in Europe. there, pants in front of all these tourists. Like,
my guitarist thing that he loves, and now it's like that was a culture because I've known my guitarist forever. So he was in my metal band, so we go way back. So, and this has been going on since we're kids. So once the band started, now it was like, all right, Donnie messes with me so much that the rest of the guys, they don't necessarily play into it too much, but they very much allow it and encourage it to happen.
Yeah.
So if you like look on our TikTok, there's a million. This dude loves to just peg me right in my ball bag any chance he can. And even if you look on, I think our TikTok's still up. It's about 25 videos that go back about 10 years of this dude randomly every now and again.
That's the one place I didn't stalk.
Pegging me. All you're gonna find is me getting hit in my sack a million times over. And now even he'll like other bands will like encourage it. We'll go out there.
That is hilarious.
Because he'll do it on the stories and the like other bands. I'm like, I thought you guys.
They're like, we haven't seen one
in
a while.
They'll track me. They'll like we had my friend from this band in California. He's like, hey Miles, come over here, do this jam. And I have my ukulele. He's like, yeah, just stand right here and let's fucking film a jam real quick, me and you doing this song. So I'm like, all right, and I'm all in it playing. And they set me up for this dude to just rack me right in my sack. And everyone's like, ha! And I'm like, oh, all right, all you guys are in on it too? All right, I see how it is.
That's funny.
Yeah, me and him definitely go back and forth on pranks.
You think you guys will ever do a metal reggae mashup?
I would love You know what? Aurora Wave really... I've been thinking...
Come on, next album.
I think a lot of people have been thinking that for a long time, and those dudes got the jump on it, but... For sure. And we kind of not necessarily like in our
it would
recordings,
make my soul so happy.
People tell me like in our recordings, like, oh, you got some heavy parts, but when we do our live shows, we throw in a lot of like heavy transitions and breakdowns.
That's when you get to shine with the guitar.
Yep, for sure. So I love bringing a little bit of like little sack to our set. I love it.
And then you can have people fucking two-stepping and shit in front of you.
Oh man,
come on.
We've had a few little mosh pits break out on our shows. And I'm like,
please.
I look back and I'm like,
yeah. Then you won't have to have restraints on stage. You could be like, let's open up the fucking pit right here.
You motherfuckers, let's do it. Wall of death to Friday night.
Come on.
Come on, guys. 420's
Get everyone, start telling all of them.
Everyone just come out to the 419
we want that
show.
Metal.
We're doing the Wall of Death.
Oh, I'm ready. So me and Miles bonded over Harry Potter.
We do love Harry Potter. I remember that from back in the day, too.
So
you had a lot of Harry Potter art
back
in the day, too.
I read Harry Potter with my son. And it took us like a year and a half, but we diligently read it.
Fuck yeah.
And he was like 7. So it was an accomplishment for him, sure.
We're that generation, too, because I remember like remember the Scholastic book fairs?
Yeah. I never had money for those.
I never did either, but I used to have to go to the library for recess in elementary school, and the teacher was like...
Because you were picked on and you're hiding?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
No, Dad. So the librarian girls were always really nice to me, and they're like, look, there are these new books, and one of them was the Harry Potter ones, and so I read a few of them when I was a kid, and I read Lord of the Rings when I was a kid, but yeah, I remember even before the movie came out, I already knew what the books were.
So since you're a Harry Potter stan...
Let's see how well
what is your house?
Oh, I'm for sure Hufflepuff. All day. I'm a Hufflepuff.
Okay. And see, I was thinking
those are the chillest ones.
I was thinking about that this morning, and I was like, he's total Hufflepuff.
Yeah, and every movie you watch, they're late. They're not in the mix at all. Like they're not involved in any problem. They're just in the background, like. You know, I love those ones.
And now that you say that you're picked on, it just makes even more sense that you were really a Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff all day. I always notice that in the books, and I'm like, these guys just chill, and they're like the little plant kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I love that. So yeah, I'm Hufflepuff all day. They probably smoke
Slytherin.
Weed. They're smoking some type of magical weed.
She's Ravenclaw, but she claims Gryffindor.
What are Ravenclaws? Like the little emo
they're
kids?
They're smart.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're the super smart ones.
Little emo kids. Yeah.
And then they have the show coming out now, right? I think they're gonna start or like a series. Or
they keep talking about HBO, right?
I saw the casting of it, and I'm like,
I haven't seen the casting.
Oh, you gotta go see.
They're
gonna
ruin
see it. Yeah, they are gonna ruin it.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
Why would they do that to?
Well, see, and I didn't care for the movies even. It was all about the books for me.
See, and I read like the first 2 when I was younger, and then the movies came out. I just started watching those.
Yeah,
but,
I watched the movies just to put your imagination to life. But
a lot of people who are the book like
book reader.
nerds
The books are always
hate
better.
the movies. Yeah.
Yeah, books
True.
are always.
Yeah.
Well, they leave out like characters and everything. Like they, and I get it. Like it's the books are this thick.
Yeah.
Like you
And
can't
see,
incorporate
that's
everything.
why I'm such a huge Lord of the Rings fan, because when I was younger,
Oh, see it.
before even Lord of the Rings came out, same
I
thing.
can't. They make me fall asleep. The
See,
movies put me to sleep.
I loved it.
And
They're almost word for word book.
Like if I'm having a hard night,
You put on Lord of the Rings and go to sleep too? That's your white noise?
That and Troy. Troy puts me to sleep
The
every
movie Troy?
time too. Yes.
Weird.
With Brad Pitt?
Yes.
What?
That's
a
like
good one,
that's
too.
every man's favorite movie.
Yo, Achilles?
No, that's fucking boring. I
love
don't know.
that one.
Like war stuff, I think to me, I think
It's
that's what it
boring,
is.
yeah.
It's fucking boring to
Oh,
me.
see, for dudes, we're like on the edge of our seat. We're like,
Yeah.
yeah, get him. We're like,
Yeah. For me,
I love war
it doesn't
movies.
do it for me. I'm like, oh, okay, we get it. We
I
get it.
love-
We're killing each other.
I love movies too. I'm a huge movie buff.
Yeah,
I love
me too.
movies.
Bad.
Love them.
What's like the last good movie you saw?
I really like that movie Long Legs. That like I like horror movies.
I didn't see that.
I thought Long Legs was
wanted
pretty.
to.
I thought that was a pretty good one.
I'm a chicken. I don't watch scary movies
At all?
I haven't watched a scary movie in years.
I don't get. The scary movie thing is always such a weird. It's hard too because not a lot of. I think I'm critical on scary movies because they're really easy to mess up.
I just don't like that
know.
feeling. I don't like the feeling of being scared.
But I bet
don't
you-
understand why
I bet
people
you
indulge in
you'll
it.
listen to 48 hours of actual murders and actual.
No, I'm not that
Like,
person
yo.
either. I used to be into like crime stuff, I
Yeah.
guess a little bit, but no, that's not me either.
That stuff
I'm
almost
soft,
scares
I
me.
think.
Like,
Right.
when I was a kid and they.
Well,
that
and I
guy's
think
voice,
that's why I
tonight,
don't-
we're gonna
yeah.
watch. I was like, those are.
I think I don't. I told Cass, like, my thing is ignorance is bliss, so I don't.
You're like,
I don't pollute my brain. That's what I say. That's
You're
my.
just reading Harry Potter and chilling.
Yeah. I'm all for fantasy and sci-fi and stuff, but horror, I'm all no. Like even reading Dracula, I had to read it like during the day because it would get
You
me
know,
freaked out.
The new Dracula was good. The new Nosferatu.
Oh,
was
I
pretty
did
good.
watch that.
I like
Did
that.
you?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it either.
Because
I'm
it
behind.
was like old
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
vibe, so it wasn't like fucking
Yeah.
terrifying,
Yeah, that
you
one
know.
was pretty good. I like that one.
And I wanted to see Misstep in action.
God, new movies are so hard too. Like I almost just rewatch old movies, like No Country for Old Men, classic. I love that.
Speaking of old movies, do you feel like Burque is Ritchie Valens?
I wish I was Burque. I feel like either Mike or one of the.
No,
if people were
you
like,
are not my.
Ritchie, my Ritchie. If I was considered the Ritchie Valens in New Mexico, oh
could
my
see
God,
it.
that's crazy.
I synced it.
I don't think I'm that good. I might be the Bob.
No, you're not.
Bob was the sweetie. In the end, he was the one who needed the most
Bob
love.
was in Slytherin, okay? Ritchie was a Hufflepuff.
Oh shit. Yeah, I love movies. I've always been a huge movie person. I like visual art like that, and it's cool to see like people's ideas come. It's almost like music in a way. I feel like it's cool to
yeah.
see people's ideas go onto like a storytelling thing. I love movies. Movies are great. I love shows too. Like I watched what's it called? True Detective.
Oh, yeah. I've
Those
seen
were
it.
really
Oh,
good.
True Detective season 1.
The first season.
Yeah, that was the best
with
one.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yep.
Oh, that
This last
me
one
and my
was
chick
pretty
were
good
hooked on
too,
that.
though. It had like a
Yeah.
sci-fi feel.
I thought I wasn't gonna make it through, and then I was like, okay.
Yeah, the third one was kind of like with the spirits in Alaska thing. I was kind of like,
Yeah.
all right, they're gonna throw some spiritual shit.
Yeah,
It
for
was-
sure.
It wasn't
No,
so
it
bad.
ended up being
They didn't
good
ruin
at
it.
the
Ruin
end,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love. I just started watching Righteous Gemstones. That show's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I've seen, I think, the first season.
a little bit of Tulsa King. I've seen some Yellowstone. Yellowstone's good. I
Oh,
need to watch
Yellowstone is
Yellowstone.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I
That
watch
is really good. I love Beth. She's
I'm one of those
gangster.
classic rewatchers. My chick's always mad at me because she's like, "You just want to watch the same movies over and over." But I'm like, "Well, they're good."
I'm
Yeah.
that way with like the OC, obviously. I watch it all the time.
I could rewatch Scarface. I could rewatch The Sopranos. I watch The Sopranos probably once a year.
I've never watched the whole
Oh,
thing.
I love The
I know.
Sopranos.
I think I want to watch it, but every time I watch it, it feels so dated, you know? And I get so my sister-in-law started watching the OC just recently, and she's like, they have like fucking flip phones and all, and I was like, yeah.
They're getting a page.
So I was like, I understand.
how
I
it
understand what you're
was.
saying.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
And you know what? It trips me out because I'm like, all right. I remember my parents watching like MASH
Oh, I know.
Or something,
yeah.
being like, how are they watching these old shows? But that's how it was when they were younger. So to them, I'm like, how are they sitting here watching this for hours? I don't understand any of this. But now I'm like, ooh, is that where we were? Like,
Well, that's like from your time.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm like-
you
Yeah.
can say that. You're like, look, back in my day, or like in my time.
No, and that's how I
what
like.
it
I put my
was.
kids on to all kinds of stuff
Yeah.
because they'll only watch like the current movies, and I'm like, oh no, let me show you.
yeah.
Let me
Oh,
show you what's up.
Yep.
And then sure enough, Amelia, she'll be like, I don't know, and then she'll watch it like The Parent Trap. I had her watch The Parent
Yeah,
Trap.
Parent
She
Trap,
fucking watched that shit over and over
Spy
after
Kids.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
Harriet
That
the
was
Spy.
Oh man,
R.I.P.
She just died.
Michelle
I know.
Trachtenberg.
Euro
yeah.
Trip.
Yes.
Yes.
that's crazy, man. She was young too, like 38.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she had
Kidney or something.
liver
Liver or
transplant.
something? Yeah, that's what it was. A surgery that went wrong.
Yeah, and they said that it just rejected.
That's crazy.
That's
yeah,
what
they were
they say.
talking about it
So I had to go
today.
get my liver checked. I'm all shit. We're getting-
Maybe not. Maybe not. You won't go
know,
on.
yeah.
You won't go on tour.
You don't want to know. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You don't want to know.
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
See, I told you.
You're right.
That's so funny.
Yeah, those old school stuff. I loved when I was a kid. Kablam. Not a lot of people remember Kablam, but it was like this little sketch show on Nickelodeon, and it had my favorite thing was
familiar.
I just loved it because it had Prometheus and Bob, and it was the claymation alien
Oh, that's
who
cool.
would try and teach the caveman stuff. And
See,
it was claymation.
and that's something else that's
Okay.
cool about
Remember
like
those?
our
Yeah.
generation. Claymation was like a huge
Yeah.
thing in like the celebrity death matches.
Oh my god!
I loved celebrity death match.
Me too.
It was so
The
fucking
Hanson
awesome.
brothers were always like the
and
they
then
were
like
always on
Brittany
it.
and Christina and
Marilyn
shit.
Manson would always be.
That
Nuts.
we grew up in a time.
It was a time for sure.
Yeah.
And then when we got older, it was even more ridiculous stuff like Room Raiders and
Oh.
Jersey Shore and what
Well,
else?
see, and that's what's funny is I
Next.
remember Theo Vaughn from Road Rules.
Do you?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I saw a clip of him when he was on. He's like young.
Yeah, he was on Road Rules, and then they did like those real world Road Rules
I've
battles,
heard
and
that.
he
I
was
don't
on
remember.
them,
I
and
don't-
he
yeah.
like dated one of the girls, and so it's so funny because I was like, I kept watching his podcast, and I was like,
know
this
this
guy
fool.
looks so fucking familiar, and I can't put my finger on it, and then I did it, and I looked it up, and sure, yep, there he was.
I don't remember him at all.
Yes,
Like, I
that's how he
just-
started.
even
He's been in
When
Hollywood
I
for
looked
so
it up,
long.
I was like, dang, I didn't know he'd been around that long.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
just.
He's
Yeah,
hilarious too. I love
no,
him.
Yeah.
love him.
Dude's hilarious.
Yes, he's one of the greats. Like his brain is
Yeah.
just,
And he's from our time, so he just goes to show.
yeah.
That's how I know I'm getting older. I'm like, our time was, you know.
In our era.
Yes.
And I'm like, is this slang that
Well,
I hear
I
them
think
doing
it's
now is
cool
whack as
because we grew up before technology, and then now we're living with it.
Oh man.
And like my dad, he was like, "Oh, phones used to we didn't have cell." And I was like, "Dad, I used to talk on the
rotary,
landline
yeah.
that was in the kitchen."
Or-
like,
I saw someone post, I was on Instagram or something that was like, if you were born before 1995,
Mm-hmm.
you're a part of the last generation that remembers life before the internet. Which I thought
yeah,
about
even
that.
on my phone, you remember. Like when you had cell phone and you accidentally hit the internet button and you were like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
because they would charge you like
Yeah.
$150 and shit.
Hell yeah. Or like, I remember having to do like floppy disk homework on my dad's computer and him being like on the phone.
I didn't
and
even know how to use it. Yeah, it was dumb that they would do that to
whole-
us. Yeah. It was not
I
cool.
remember when my parents were cleaning out their garage a few years ago, and there was like a box of old floppy disks, and my little sister, like on purpose, I was like, "What is this?" And she tripped out so bad. She's like, "I don't know. Is it like a part of something?"
I don't fucking know. The
I
inside
was
of a
like,
computer.
You don't like what is it? Like guess, and then she's like,
Because she's
"I don't
how,
know." She's
how
like,
much
"Does
younger
it
than
do-"
you?
She's 10 years younger.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
she's
what my
Gen
brother
Z.
is, I think.
Yeah, and she just was like, "Oh, that's a floppy disk," and I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
this is what we had to suffer with and bring our
She-
presentations on
Yeah,
this shit.
she could
Make
not.
PowerPoints and
Oh,
shit.
God.
I was shocked. I was like, that was weird to me. Mm-hmm. I like she couldn't even guess, like not in any context, like what it. She's like, I don't know, it's like a part of a machine or something.
Like
and I was
a year
like, no.
back, I was at work and Peaches and Cream came on the radio.
Uh-huh.
And of course,
112.
Yo, you know how we just get down.
112.
And one girl, it tripped me out because she's 23 years old and was like, I've never heard this song.
Oh, my sister.
And I was like,
my sister, like, I'll be like, "Oh, Mariah Carey, this song." And she's like, And she's only 5 years younger than me. I'm what the fuck?
yeah, what were they listening? I'm like, what are you
Yeah.
listen to?
Way different.
Drake. I'm like, I don't even know. Like,
You know what I get a kick out of, like,
No,
going to
we
Dutch
have
Bros?
like Jodeci and all kind, like, and they
Joe.
Everyone.
I love Joe.
and
Yeah.
they know nothing about
Boys
it.
to Men,
don't.
Yeah.
Blackstreet.
Know nothing
Everyone.
about it.
Yeah. No, but the kids at Dutch Bros, and they act like they know. Like,
Yeah.
they were all like, every time I go, they're like jamming out to like T-Pain, and I'm like, that is not from your time.
Turn that off.
You don't even
I
know.
love- we
You're
talk
a
about
poser.
T-Pain in every episode.
Yeah.
I love him so
I
much.
do too.
T-Pain's, he just seems like such a sweet dude.
Yeah.
Like,
He
he
is
just seems
so
like-
cool. He is just so effortlessly
And I love how he proved
cool.
everyone. He's like, I can sing and start.
yeah,
like,
and he
Yeah.
fucking sings
he really, yeah,
good.
hell yeah. T-Pain's what's up.
Yeah.
No.
I want
These
him to
kids
do
don't know.
the Super Bowl.
I do too. Bad.
He
He
should.
deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
He
You
deserves
should start a
the
Please,
petition.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah, we should
That's the
start-
Super
yeah.
Bowl we
Yeah.
all want to see.
We're gonna
He can
rub
have
that-
so much collabs.
Yes, he could.
And then, did you guys watch Missy Elliott's Coachella performance?
Yes. Did you
I
see
didn't
it?
know.
No.
She came out as like a transformer.
Yes, that was fucking crazy. She was a legit car, and she like got up and it was
like
cool.
the stage like lifts up and
Yeah.
she's there and then she starts transforming
My
and
sister
you're like,
had,
a la
had
verga,
her
Missy
fucking,
Elliott."
I don't know why she was
orange
wearing
jumpsuit.
bike helmets through the
She
whole
has the
thing.
weirdest style.
Yeah.
She does. She really
I was
does.
all, okay.
Even back in
Yeah.
the day, my sister had one of her orange jumpsuits,
The
like
only
the shiny
thing-
orange jumpsuits. And looking back, I'm like, what the? But it's just, yo, that was the shit.
That was
yeah.
Alicia
That
was in
was
trash
from them.
bags,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. I was just sad that she didn't have like Sierra on. Timberland wasn't there. And it was crazy because I didn't realize Sierra was there and she went on for Meg the Stallion. And I was like,
I saw that.
is there beef there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is going on?
I don't
Yeah.
even.
Because all I wanted was, how does that sound go? This beat is
yeah.
outrageous. I was like, come on.
I watched the Grammys this year, and I was like,
Oh,
this-
Grammys
this-
are weird.
This is probably gonna be the last time I watch the Grammys.
Yeah,
'Cause I was
Grammys
like,
are weird.
When we were younger, I remember seeing Whitney Houston win one.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah.
Just like shit that. And
Now
they would get
it's
up there
Taylor
and they'd, like,
Swift all the time.
Yeah, and they, like, they would do like perform. Like I remember seeing Whitney at the Grammys singing, and
Oh,
you're like,
yeah, and her veins are
Yeah.
like
Sweaty,
out
and
of
she's
pop.
like
Yo.
sweating and
And
yeah.
now it's exactly. It's like Taylor Swift with her weird dances.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man.
Don't do the Trump again.
I was trying not to, and then I was like, you know what, I better stop. 'Cause I looked crazy
don't
last time.
even do the Trump.
Last time I was like this. Don't know why, but it happened. It just happened.
So funny.
Let me warm up, okay?
Yeah. Well, Miles didn't bring his guitar with him, so
I should. I didn't even think
he's
of that.
just in trouble more.
Sorry, y'all. Come to the shows. Come see us at the shows. It's
Oh, there
even
you
better.
go. Yeah.
Well, I think that's all we have for today.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for having me.
It's
No,
been
thank you
great
so much
chatting.
for coming on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anyone who hasn't heard us, it's the RIDDIMS. We're on everything, all platforms. So please check us out, and we'd appreciate it. And thank you guys for having me. I appreciate you guys.
No, thank
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
All
it's
right.
been a good
Later,
time.
guys. Thank you.
And do you know, huh?
I know, huh? You know, huh? You remember?
We'll see you later.
Bye,
Later,
guys.